Hey everybody, Jeff, your executive gardener. Hope everybody's having a great spring gardening season. I know if you live in the north, things are probably thawing out. You're starting your seeds indoors. Well, down here in the south, in Houston, Texas, we're going full time. So I've had my pepper plants in the ground for quite a bit of time, and now we're starting to get some good harvest. I'm going to show what it looks like. So many of you, last year when my daughter did my seed giveaway, bought Shishito Shishito grilling peppers and Jimmy Nardello peppers, both a variety of sweet pepper. I took those seeds, some of them that I sent to you, I kept a few back, and I'll show you what they look like. You know, the great thing about gardening, and I love growing fresh peppers. I'm not so big on hot peppers, but I love sweet peppers, as I love to experiment different ways of fertilizing to maximize flower and bud growth, to maximize pepper growth. So one of the things I did this year, and you'll see my plants in a second, is I tried a little bit of different variation. So I amended the soil. I put a decent amount of compost in there. However, I wanted to maximize the amount of buds and peppers that I had and flowers that I had for pepper production. In addition, all of my pepper plants I topped. So you'll see them, they're smaller, shorter I should say, and bushier, versus tall and lanky, and I encourage all of you to top your peppers when they're younger, seedlings, okay? So the things that I've used this year for my peppers, and I rotate these every other week, and one is a soil drench and the other is a foliar spray. Both are effective methods to get both macronutrients and micronutrients into the plant. So the first thing I've used here is Jack's Classic Tomato Feed, okay? And this is just a fertilizer which you mix 1 scoop per gallon of water, and you apply to the soil, to the roots, once every 2 weeks. Very effective with a ratio of 12, 13, 30. In addition, it also has calcium, magnesium, and other zinc, other key micronutrients your plants need. Now, the other weeks that I rotate, I put in this foliar spray in my spray bottle. One is called Bill's Perfect. These are macronutrients. This is 611, was it 611.5 NPK, okay? And the other is called Spray and Grow, and this is micronutrients, okay? So it has all the necessary micronutrients. So I mix this in with warm water. It needs to be warm water. Make sure you follow the instructions. The important part of foliar spraying is either you do it very early in the morning or late at night when the pores called stomata of the plant, of the leaves, which are underneath the leaves, open up. So it allows the foliar spray in a fine mist to penetrate the leaves and then absorb the nutrients through the leaves and the stem, mostly the leaves, through the stomata, as opposed to the roots, okay? Both very effective, and I'll show you the results. So I don't endorse any of these products, but they work very well, and they allow me to rotate up, and I'll show you the end result of my plants. So again, Spray and Grow, Bill's Perfect, and then I rotate that every other week with Jack's Tomato Feed, okay? There it is. So get it if you want it. I'll show you what the results are for me. Let me take you to the side garden and show you how the Shishito and the Jimmy Nardello plants are doing. So here we are. We're in my side garden. Most of you are familiar with this side of the garden. I apologize. My neighbor's air conditioning's on. I've turned mine off so you can hear it better. So let's take a look. This is my Jimmy Nardello pepper plant. And as most of you know, this is my favorite pepper, okay? So take a look at that Jimmy Nardello. That is a beautiful looking red pepper. And when they're green, they certainly look like this, okay? And so as you'll see, there's plenty of peppers on that plant. And then I'll show you underneath, plenty of peppers as well. So if you've never had a Jimmy Nardello pepper plant, I encourage you to do so. What I really like about this is by using those nutrients, we're really doing a good job of making sure we're getting plenty of flowers and plenty of buds. Now, one thing that's really important, and I feel a little soft spots here, when you grow pepper plants, make sure you have enough calcium in in the plant, because I'm looking at one of mine and it looks like it's, you know what tomato end rot looks like because of lack of calcium. The same thing can happen. So the stem walls, it can break down for pepper plants and then get very soft. So make sure you have enough calcium supplement, whether you do it foliar spray or root drench in your plant, so your peppers grow excellent. So the other type of plant that I have is called the Shishito plant. So this is a Shishito plant right here, and look at all of the flowers and the buds. This is actually ridiculous how many flowers there are on this plant, okay? And I've already picked off a number of peppers, but there are some that are still coming on. You see, these are still in the green stage. These are in the red stage. These aren't as long and aren't as big as a Jimmy Nardello pepper, but they're equally as tasty. Now, I'll try to give you an example of another one here. There's some red ones under there. There's another one over there as well, with plenty of peppers, plenty of flowers. But to get a good look at that, I mean, it's just amazing how many flowers that will turn into peppers on this plant. And then I have a few over here. Again, this is actually a good size Shishito, so take a look at that, what that looks like. And again, green. And this is as they go through the stage from green to red. Another Shishito plant here. I'll lift it up underneath. There's a lot of peppers on that as well. So I'm really happy with the pepper production. Again, lots of flowers on these plants, which should lead to lots of peppers. I think peppers, like tomatoes, are heavy feeders, so you need to make sure you keep the nutrients and a lot of compost on it on an ongoing basis, okay? And again, I'm very pleased with the production. So if you bought peppers from me last year, you should expect a similar production. If you can follow a similar path of nutrients, I think you'll get the same results. So anyway, the other stuff I'm growing in my garden, and this is more of a show and tell. Oh, I forgot to mention this. So when you grow sweet peppers, give them time. They will turn generally from green to red. When they grow from green to red, the amount of vitamin C and nutrients and sweetness increases because of the sugar content by 2 to 3 times. It's unbelievably good. So if you're patient enough, please allow your plants enough time to go from green to red. Something else I was going to show you too is that I use the same nutrients and the same process for my tomato plants. So as you'll see, the tomato plants, this is a cherry fountain tomato. I mean, just loaded with flowers, okay? I mean, look at all those flowers that'll turn to tomatoes. So my process of foliar feeding and soil drench every other week, it seems to be paying off fairly well. And the same plant is over here. You just see a ton of tomatoes and a ton of flowers. So probably more tomatoes and flowers than my family can eat, but nonetheless all good. So this is a show and tell version. I showed you the nutrients, I showed you the process. Again, many of you have bought these seeds from me, but and many of you in different parts of the country don't have your peppers at this part at the process yet in the harvest. But I'm going to enjoy myself a lot of red peppers here tonight. Until next time, this is Show and Tell from the Executive Gardener channel. Take care. Bye.